A couple of weeks ago, me and my friend were playing Roblox and decided to play some Roblox Horror Games. Most of these quote-unquote horror games weren't even that scary. Or they were just very goofy. And I want to talk about how the genre of horror on the Roblox platform are mediocre at best. And I want to dissect each of these games and see what they do good and bad in the gameplay, graphics, storytelling, and much more, and decide if Roblox horror games are truly scary and good. Now, before we begin, don't wish hunt and attack any of these people or the games they made. It's just a fun little video I wanted to make. Alright, now let's begin to see how scary the Roblox horror games. And are they any good? The first game I want to talk about is Apeirophobia. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a Backrooms inspired game by Kane Pistols, a very cool VFX artist, and you definitely have seen this video from him. It has 24 levels split into 2 chapters, but we'll talk about 10 of them, so there's something really notable to talk about. Almost in every level, there is a monster, or even 2 monsters, chasing you. And I think all of them always know where you are, but they move slowly when you don't see them. Kind of like Splinter Beach one sticky wiggly if you think about it. Now I must say, the graphics of this game is very nice. It does really look like the Backrooms, and I've liked most of the massive monsters. And I do like a few of these levels since some of them actually are pretty scary, and the graphics have helped with that. Like this level that is almost completely silent. And a monster that really creeped me and my friend out so much that at times we didn't even dare to move. This game looks pretty cool, but let's talk about the burning garbage pile around it. Most levels in this game are pretty easy and simple to complete, but there's some levels that make me want to leave this game immediately. First level is level 2, this dude. This level isn't really hard or tedious, it's kind of annoying because of this room. In each of these doors there's a button you need to press to get out of there. But when me and my friend played it, it took over 10 minutes to find one. Not because the monster was, trying to kill us, because we just couldn't find the button. But that's kinda our fault. No, your fault. Get out! Anyways, now level 1. Gimmick of this level is that you run from the spooky monster. But you don't have infinite stamina, but you do have a lot of it. But whenever you do lose stamina, you black out and go to cardiac arrest for some reason. There's some of these obstacles that look like you can just jump over them, but you actually can't. And mind you, this session goes on for like 2 minutes straight. So in order to complete this, you need to play this part completely perfectly, or else you die. But in this game, you do get 4 lives to respond with, which is nice. Another level I hated was the end is near level. Now, in this level, you're supposed to find 6 covered hexagons and use these to make a code with these rules on the computer. But some of these are hidden super well. So well in fact that me and my friends spent over 15 minutes on this part. The only reason it took so long is because one lone purple hexagon in the corner of the map, and mind you, we checked the map by 5 times, but just because it blended in with the darkness so well, we couldn't find it. Yeah, I really wanted to quit the game right here. The last level we played was this parkour level. That is pretty easy, but if you die just once, no matter if you're almost at the end of the level, you go all the way back to the start. But it's super annoying since it takes forever to get back to the part you died. And also, the only reason we stopped playing the game right here is because we got soft locked at this door! This single door! I'm sorry about my tongue. but it was super annoying. Overall, Apeirophobia is one of those games that looks and feels pretty cool, but it's super buggy and glitchy. But it did give me and my friend a couple of scares. I honestly think you should play this game. It's pretty cool. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. This game is called The Maze, and it will be one of the smallest games I'll play in this video. The Maze, created on April 9th, 2017, and made by Apeirophobia. This game is a cave exploration horror game for people who like exploring and looking for a scare, according to the game's description at least. The only picture on the game's page is an RV in darkness with a campfire and the game's title. Nothing better to do but to play the game now. Loading into the game will put us into the main menu. In here, there are some things we can check out like the fan art section, which tells us the names of the two monsters hunting us in the caves. First is this black skinny dude and this black fat dude. Anyways, the how to play section tells us this is a survival game to see how long we can last in the cave system. When spawning into a table, a campfire, and an RV. The table and campfire don't do anything or have anything, but inside the RV has a flashlight, a camera, and a calendar that shows a real-life date. Spooky. The flashlight has a note below it, telling us that the battery will drain and we need to find batteries for it every once in a while. And the camera has no note, but it does flash us right before going on a small cooldown, but it doesn't require any batteries. Outside the RV, there are some bloody footprints that lead us to the cave. Going into the cave will eventually split into two different paths, but they both lead to the same hole. Nothing better to do but to jump in. Jumping in, you can spawn at different locations around the cave. The cave itself is a maze, like in the game's name. Around the cave system are these tiny holes that you can cross into to hide from the monsters and find other people. Around the cave, there is also wooden boards that require you to find an axe to cut them down. Speaking of the axe, you can throw it at the monsters to stun them for a second. The same for the rock. The rock can be found randomly around the cave system, with no set spawn, unlike the axe. Now to talk about the monsters. First is the Caldera. No idea how to pronounce that. But basically, it's SCP-173 from SCP Foundation. You look at it, it doesn't move, but looking away makes it move. If it gets too close to you, you die. Oh! Nothing special. Now, the main reason this game got so popular, the Overton. This guy is definitely the mascot of this game. He is this tall, black creature that emits a red light to warn you he's getting close to you. Yes, he's basically Usain Bolt. He runs at the speed of light, and unless you have something to stun him, or you're near one of the hiding holes, you're dead. Now, let's talk about this game's problems I have with it. Number 1. The game has been abandoned by the developer and has been updated in almost 3 years now, which means it's probably never get updated ever again. Number 2. When I played it, there was a hacker messing around that was spawning like infinite ashes at the monster and making the monsters get stuck on the walls. And lastly, number 3. The game itself isn't really scary. And when I actually went back to play it again, it still wasn't scary. Mostly because of how goofy Roblox's testers are, and they don't really work in a horror game. Also, according to the game's description, the developers behind this game are working on a reboot, which hasn't been done yet, and probably won't be ever done again. TLDR, this game isn't scary, it's outdated, and there's hackers that went around and servers messing with the monsters. Overall, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 for me. The next game is called The Rake Remastered, created by REMASTERED, someone who also created a game called Criminality, a game that needs a video on it itself, but for other reasons. Back on topic, the game was released on February 12th, 2022, and remakes the original Rake game to have a lot more high quality textures and lighting with some new things added. The description says, 1. Hide, survive. The Rake lurks through the forest at night, searching for victims to stalk, hunt, and slay. Find items to upgrade your inventory with points gained at the stop. Can you survive the night? Bro, fuck this game! Playing the game, the main menu doesn't have a lot. You only have to teleport to the original Rake game, and some daywalks and stuff. When spawning in, you spawn at different spots around the edges of the map, and sometimes near a location. These locations all have a name to them, and have something unique to them. They can have an item, a hiding spot, or just be a safe place to be at. There are only a few spots in this map that are actually worth going to. First is the tower. The tower has 3 different things to combat the Rake. First is this trap door. If someone holds the lever right next to it, it will stay closed, and when it go will make it open after about 2 seconds. But if the Rake is at the trapdoor, he will slowly break it open, and until he eventually breaks it open. No, I'm down! Bro, he just knocked me off the tower! Next is the spotlights, which can be activated by a switch that lights up the surrounding areas underneath the tower. But it's kind of pointless, since when you go up here anyways, the black fog that is around you in the map is less intense up here, allowing you to see further away and have an easier vision, and having some good eyes will negate the spotlights entirely. Also, if you're not careful, fall off the tower and break your legs and become down. There's also the radar here. The radar can be activated right here, and it slowly scans around the tower and has a very long range. But they can detect both the players and the Rake, so it's better enough to use it and look around to see what's actually under you. The second location is the safe house. It's a small, run-down, abandoned cabin that has a door, a light, and a radio inside of it. The radio can help you contact other players that are on the complete opposite side of the map, as long as they have the radio itself. The door switch can close the door onto the Rake, blocking him from entering the cabin. And the light switch, well, turns the lights on. What? But it's very useless, since it not only makes a lot of noise that can attract the Rake, but also burns a lot of power, but I'll talk about that later. One thing I forgot to mention though is when the Rake is blocked from the door from going inside the cabin, we're not entirely safe. The Rake will suddenly climb on top of the cabin and start breaking inside of it. Yeah, the safe house is not very safe. The next location is the power station. There's nothing here to help you from the Rake, but it is most important location of all of them. So every once in a while, when the power levels go low, too much power is being used from stuff like radars, doors, lights, and other stuff, everything that requires power, which is mostly everything in this game, will be turned off. Someone needs to go to the power station and turn it back on. This person has to hold their E key for a long time, which makes louder and louder noises, which attract the Rake. The next location is the base camp. Now, this spot at first doesn't really look that useful.
Like, it doesn't really have anything here besides a dead body. But every once in a while, a piece of paper can spawn right next to this dead body, and picking up reveals coordinates to a flare gun. Now, be careful. Do not unequip this note of paper. If you do, it will leave your inventory, so keep it in. There is around 15 spots around the map that it could spawn at, and you better find it fast, because it will only spawn in for about 10 minutes before it despawns again. Once you do find it, you can shoot it into the air, and it will call airdrop in, which after opening it can give you some very nice stuff. Also, if you use the flare gun at night, it will alert the Rake to you, so don't do that. The last location we're going to be talking about is the shop, where you can buy items to defend yourself from the Rake. You can also kill the Rake using some of the items here at the stun stick. These items require points, and you get those from surviving nights or find a scrap around the map to sell. You can also sell items as well. If you die with items, you can just rebuy them with a discount in the correct tab. Also in the shop, you can buy some game passes if you really want to. Okay, so now let's actually talk about the Rake itself. The Rake isn't just your dumb Roblox AI. It can both hear and smell you across the map. If you make certain noises that turn the lights on, or even using your flashlight can alert him to your spot. When he does catches you, your camera will walk onto him and he'll do a scream animation before charging at you. He's about the same speed as you, and as long as you use all of your stamina, you can outrun him. So, don't use your stamina unless you're sure he's not near you. Also, there's a chance where when you spawn in, the Rake could be right in front of you and just insta-kill you before you can even know what's going on. The Rake can be killed by using items like the Rake Trap and the Stun Stick, which both do damage to the Rake. If you hit him enough times, he can enter a enraged state, where he becomes super angry and he blocks all incoming attacks for a little bit. Now, if you get low enough, you can either run back to his cage, which will end the night early, or enter Blood Hour. Oh shit! Oh shit, it's the Blood Night. Blood Hour lasts for 1 minute and 40 seconds. And the Rake is super duper fast, everything goes red, and he can instantly kill you. The only way to survive Blood Hour is to either hope he goes after everyone else besides you, or if you bug him out. If you manage to survive Blood Hour or kill the Rake, you get double points at the end of the night. Now, what do I think of this game? Well, I think it's the most replayable game out of any of these games. It's a very good game. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Very good game. The last game we'll be talking about in this video is based on the infamous SCP-3008. SCP-3008 is basically an infinite IKEA store with employees with no faces, and at night they attack you. The Roblox game follows this concept pretty well with a few new things added. The game was released on January 20th, 2019 and created by Ugly Burger Zero. The description just discusses the SCP itself and nothing else. The game is a very large, randomly generated map at the SCP. The map isn't infinite, and it's just really big. The whole goal of this game is to see how long you survive. You can grab items and make giant bases, you can go scavenge for food and water and survive, and that's basically the entire game. There's a few rare items you can find like the tool gun and private servers, which can spawn items and we do some very funny stuff with it. Now the actual enemies versus the employees are pretty faithful to the actual SCP. During the day they just walk around saying random lines, but at night they try to attack you. Every 10 nights is a blood night, where it's very red and the employees are much more dangerous since they move faster. Every 15 nights is a foggy night, where it's just harder to see. The game is more of a funny sandbox game to play with your friends rather than an actual horror game, but it's definitely a very chill game. I would give this game a 9 out of 10. I feel like it's a very good game you should go check out. these games are pretty good, and I recommend you play them for yourself. And also I need to address how lazy this video is, especially at the end. But I finally got it out. This video was supposed to come out all the way back in February, and it's almost my birthday in March. Anyways, next video will be way better, so yeah, I'll see you in next video. Sorry for the lazy intro or outro. Alright.